Alright, welcome back to another video. We're going to revisit one of our favorites here on the channel as of recent, Tattooed Chef. I like to talk about this stock from time to time just to keep up with it. I'm going to preface this video by saying, hey, if you like this kind of content, please consider subscribing. That way you don't miss any in the future. My goal is 1,000 subs by the end of the year. And if you find it entertaining in the least, because that's all it really is for, please consider subscribing. 2, I do own a couple puts on this company, so if I sound biased, I am. 3, I actually used to own shares of this company. I sold it a while ago, but unfortunately, I know a lot of people were burned by this company and also burned by a particular YouTuber that seemed to pump this stock, calling it the next Tesla. We're not going to talk about who that YouTuber is, but I bet you can probably guess. But why am I talking about this stock today? Well, I was looking, and of course, it's up double digits, almost 6% after hours, in fact, for no apparent reason. In fact, if we go to Tattooed Chef's investor relation page on their own website, they still have no articles anywhere near today's date. Still, the most current article is Tattooed Chef receives notice of non-compliance from NASDAQ because of its financial filings, I believe. And obviously, that's not a good headline to get investors excited. If we go on Yahoo Finance, this is in fact the most recent article related to Tattooed Chef. They say Tattooed Chef dips 27% this week as increasing losses might not be inspiring confidence among its investors. This was published February 10th. Here's some things to take note from this article. They say the stock is down 90% in just 1 year. We knew that. And they also say Tattooed Chef doesn't make a profit. So what a lot of people do is they look at revenue growth as another metric when a company is unprofitable. And in this article, they said Tattooed Chef grew its revenue by 19% over the last year. And I guess it depends on what time frame you're looking at this data. Because if I go to stock analysis, as long as this is correct and I switch to quarterly, if we look at the financials of Tattooed Chef, we see the last time they posted earnings, their revenue is actually down year over year, -6%. So if we go in bar chart form, you can see it's actually been declining the last 2 quarters that they published. And of course, with a company like Tattooed Chef, who used to praise itself on getting into all of these different retailers, all these different stores, yet seeing a decline in revenue is not inspiring. And here's the thing I've always been kind of cautious of. In the article, they also state that one fear might be that the company is losing too much money and will need to raise more. I don't think it's really a question anymore, and we'll definitely find out in, I think it's 12 days for their next earnings. Okay, 13 days. It looks like they're going to have earnings on March 15th. So I'm definitely excited for that. We'll probably have another video about Tattooed Chef right before this. But I don't think it's a question of if, it's more a question of when. Because if we look at their balance sheet, their cash, they only have $14 million left, which they basically burned through between the last quarter and the quarter before. This bar chart is a lot more revealing as to the cash that they're just really burning in the company. So in the span of 4 quarters, they went from $92 million to the next quarter, $57 million to $27 million, down to $14 million, and then who knows what it'll end up being during their next release. Now, I have made Tattooed Chef videos in the past, and I've talked about it pretty negatively, just as I did today. And maybe negatively and maybe factual can be synonymous here. But people disliking those videos does not bother me. But if you do, I am curious what you think is the positive attributes of this company. Is the food good? Yeah, I actually do think the food's good, so we can agree there. However, I don't know if the business itself is that great. And unfortunately, this is a story about a good product, bad business, as we can see with them just burning through cash. Can they pull themselves out of it? I don't know. I guess we'll have to just wait and see. I'm very, very excited for their next financial release, and it's only less than 2 weeks away now. So stay tuned for that. Stay tuned on this channel. Hit subscribe if you want to stay tuned with that particular story and anything else I come out with on this channel. I think we just like to have fun. And yeah, thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I hope to see you in a future video.